the beautiful day that our collective gets to experience Neptune going into Aries. Now, it will actually stay here and give us a glimpse of what this energy will be like until October 22nd of 2025. And at that point, it's going to retrograde back into Pisces until January 26th of 2026. And then it's going to shift back into Aries and stay there full throttle until March of 2039. So what is it going to be like to experience this transit as the collective? Well, before we dig in, let's look at some of the things that Neptune embraces. So when I think of Neptune, I think of words like intuition and your dreams, and the words like spiritual and psychic and mystical and illusions and sometimes escape and your imagination and the unconscious. And when I think of words to describe Aries, I think of bold and adventurous and a little impulsive, yet confident and assertive and energetic and passionate and fiery and maybe even a little headstrong. So what do you think you're going to get when you mix the energies of Neptune with the energies of Aries? Well, I truly feel like this is going to be a time of igniting our imaginations, but also inspiring action within our own lives as well as the collective. So what things may we see happening in the collective with this transit? Well, actually, first, let me share with you a dream that I had the other night because it was totally fascinating and very, very interesting. So imagine this, okay? I saw the Earth suspended in space. And all of a sudden, a lightning bolt hit the earth. And honestly, it was the loudest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. In fact, it woke me up from a dead sleep. But before I woke up, when I saw the lightning bolt hit the earth, it split the earth into these two jagged parts. Now, one part was consumed by the fire that was caused by the lightning bolt, and this fire devastated that part of the earth. And after the fire had burned everything up, all that was left was smoke and ashes. There was nothing to rebuild on. It was just pure destruction. But the other half of Earth thrived with the fire. The fire represented the spirit of the divine, and those open to it when the fire poured down from heaven blossomed. And on that side of the earth, I kid you not, it was the greenest grass and the luscious trees and the bluest water and the happiest people that I ever did see. They just kept smiling. And that's kind of how I imagine it being with this transit. Some people will be consumed by the fire of Aries and the wars and the destruction that it brings. But others will flourish with the divine spark that the Neptune and Aries transit brings to the collective. Now, the first thing I think of when I think of this placement is, as the collective, we are on the brink of some new ideas and some new concepts to things. So Neptune is finishing its transit in Pisces, and Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac, so it finishes up the cycle. So right now, not only is Neptune entering into a new sign, it's also entering into a brand new astrological cycle. That's why Aries are sometimes considered the babies of the zodiac. So I foresee a lot of new inventions and a lot of new ways of doing things coming about. And that Aries energy is so energetic and quick. So we may see a lot of new things happening quickly. And also, Aries are competitive. So because of this competition, we may see a lot of new inventions because that competition may be intense. So we can see things, new ways to communicate maybe, or new vaccines being brought out, or new drugs, especially with weight loss, because Aries are usually physically fit, or new religions. And, you know, in mythology, Neptune actually created the horse, which was very instrumental for men for transportation and war purposes. So we may even see new weapons for war being invented or new types of transportation coming about. And it's possible that we may even see people trying to steal other people's ideas when it comes to these things, because the competition is fierce and they want to be the first one that brings it forth. And this also may be a time where you see people inventing things for the people and not profiting from it, and then others patenting the idea to profit off others. And in mythology, Neptune was the god of the sea, but he also had quite a temper if he ever got upset. So it's very possible during this transit that we will see an influx of storms involving water, or maybe wars over water rights, or wars on the water, and new inventions of boats or submarines or some kind of watercraft that can be used during war. Now, Aries is an energy that will go to war. And I do think there will be a lot that comes up about war during this transit. So first, I think this transit will break some people's illusion of what war really is. So I know the media portrays it one way, but this transit may show the reality and the actuality behind it and the true intentions of those who are causing it. Now, in some ways, this will be great because it really is a time in our evolution to dissolve any outdated beliefs that we have as a collective. This will be a time where there is a strong drive to initiate change and to stand up and be assertive for what you believe in. And people during this time will define what their mission is, but they won't only just define it, they will set forth to carry out their mission. But I'm here to tell you, if there is any type of manipulation going on, it is likely to be exposed. So let's say the person's true intention for going to war is personal benefits or personal gains. Well, then it will be known. Because, Pisces is a sign that can like to kind of be hidden and just goes with the ebbs and flows of life. But Aries is not like that at all. It does not care to be seen, to be bold, and to be assertive. And we may even see something like a war on individuality during this time. And we can kind of already see that going on right now, where some people are just not allowed to be their authentic selves. And honestly, I think there is just so much manipulation going on in almost every single aspect of life that anything built on manipulation will be confronted with Neptune and Aries. For so long, people knew things were being manipulated, yet felt powerless to do anything about it because the people controlling things and doing the manipulation seemed bigger or more powerful. And that's a very Pisces way of thinking. But an Aries way of thinking is, I don't care how big and bad you think you are, I am not afraid of you. I will go into battle as a baby. I do not care, because Aries is a very cardinal fire sign. It does not care about battle. So you may see uprisings or rebellions or revolutions or even crusades surrounding things where people have been taken advantage of for far too long. So, for example, any company that is putting their wastes out into the environment without any repercussions, without any care of how it's affecting the wildlife in the area, and not just the wildlife, but the other humans living in that area, will be confronted by activists. The stock market being manipulated by big banks and hedge funds and the media will be confronted. The illusion of companies making profit every single quarter after quarter after quarter will be dissolved. And if the company is in fact manipulating the numbers to show that profit, it will be exposed. And I'll tell you something else that I'll be so excited to see. I really think more independent music labels and more independent films will be made with this transit. So the whole systems of movie making has been manipulated by capitalism. The big movie studios can't show a profit because they promised people a percentage of the film. So if they manipulate the numbers just right, they can show a loss and they don't have to pay those percentages, even though the film is grossing millions at the box office, which is absolutely sickening to me. And we've gotten ourselves into a cycle where the movie studios are just remaking the same movies over and over and over again. There is no creativity. And I feel like that's really going to change. The same with music. I mean, right now, an artist can manipulate the charts and release a special album with a bonus song or something to stay relevant or to stay at the top of the charts. But I think people can see right through this illusion. People are going to start becoming more independent. You know, Aries is a very independent sign and doesn't care to do things its own way. And it really will be great to support artists individually versus on a record label that tries to control the artist and their creativity. We may even find during this time that artists start making songs about what is going on politically or patriotic songs. And there is no fear of offending someone when you're independent. You can say what you want to say. There's no restriction from the record label. Also, you may find songs about battle or war being created. Maybe even some folk songs being created during this transit, or possibly a whole new type of music being invented. I feel like people will be innovative in their artistic ways for sure with this transit. You know, I even think that things here on YouTube are going to change because this platform stifles people's creativity, I feel like. It's almost like they want you to create these manipulative clickbait titles to get people to click on your video and watch the video so that they can run more ads and boost their profit and their revenue. And because of the algorithm, people try to do all of these things and follow the algorithm rather than just being themselves. And I say that because I noticed that about myself. You know, I was doing all of these teaching videos on astrology and I love it. Believe me, I absolutely love doing it, but I kind of got burnt out, but I had to keep up with the algorithm. So to give myself a break, I started reading autobiographies and biographies, and I started writing these creative little stories of now you know what is up, my buttercup. And I love it because it teaches you about an actual person with an astrological placement, but it's done in a different type of way. Now, at first when I was doing these videos, I thought about not uploading them at all because they are not videos like my teaching ones. And honestly, they don't even get that many views. So it really could mess up the algorithm for me and trying to get out there. But I reflected on it a lot, you know, and I realized like this is my little place on the internet. And I decided I would upload the videos that I like doing as well, regardless what YouTube liked or not. I just want to be myself. I don't want the algorithm to kill my creativity. So I really feel like something new will come along, or people that do use YouTube will come up with their own ways of sharing their knowledge and their wisdom without using YouTube. Maybe an independent way to share your knowledge and get compensated for it. I think that there's going to be a lot of changes where creativity is handed back to the individual rather than the large company that is really profiting off of the creator's energy. You know, the movie studios, the music industry, I mean, heck, even YouTube are basically being energy vampires right now. They are making a profit off of other people's creative energy. Now, I will say, you may need a little discernment during this transit as well. Aries is all about me and not we. And Neptune is about spirituality. So it's possible we are going to see a trend of selfish spirituality coming along. Actually, I can kind of already see it. So people teaching others how to manifest things like a big house, a nice car, an obsessed spouse, monthly vacations, weekly vacations, just for you and you only. And all of that energy is spent on you getting what you want. But here's a secret. Spirituality is about we, not me. So here's my advice. Focus on you for a time, okay? And do what you need to do to get yourself built up where you have a cup that is full and actually overfilling that can serve other people. If you want wealth and abundance, that's totally fine. There's no shame in that. If that's one of the things that make you feel safe and secure in this life, go for it. But I invite you to ask this question to yourself. In what ways can you use that wealth and abundance to serve other people? How can you be a responsible leader? Watch out for manifesting things for yourself as a way to stroke your ego or gain pride or to compete with other people. What's that Anne Frank quote? Oh gosh, I think she said something, no one has ever become poor from giving. It truly does fulfill your soul when you are able to take your gifts that you received freely and share it with others. And actually, I think Anne Frank said a quote, human greatness does not lie in wealth and power, but in character and goodness. So just be careful during this time to not use your power for selfish reasons, because Aries can be a very selfish sign sometimes. And with our collective consciousness, we can positively impact so many things for the greater good. So don't just get lost in focusing and manifesting for yourself for these vain reasons during this transit. Now, another thing that I think is just absolutely wonderful with this transit is it's really going to help people lean on themselves to find their spiritual answers. So everything you need and every answer to any question that you have is within yourself. And I believe this transit will make people more confident in their psychic and their intuitive capabilities. I will get into that a little bit more in the video when we go over how this transit will directly affect you. But I do want to say, you don't need some spiritual guru to tell you anything. Trust yourself and what comes up for you when you ask the universe your important questions. Now, Neptune does usually stay in a sign for around 14 years, so it is a slower moving transit. And you may have to do some work through some blockages that are keeping you from trusting yourself and your intuition and the answers that come from within. That doubt is a scary thing. But with Aries comes the potential to gain so much confidence in our abilities. Now, we went over what the collective will experience, but what will you as an individual experience during this transit? Well, I think it will be a time where we are more passionate and assertive in our dreams. So, Neptune rules over the feet. And I think Aries gives you a drive and direction in which way those little feet need to move on this earth to get things done. So you may find yourself discovering who you want to become and what you want to accomplish this lifetime, and actually having the energy to make those dreams come true. It will be a time where we become more confident in our psychic abilities and what our spiritual beliefs are. Pisces energy can kind of be wishy-washy and a little unsure, but Aries will make a bold choice and stick with it. Now, another great thing about this is Aries can be very, very headstrong, and Neptune can represent our tendency to escape. So if you have ever had to battle an addiction or you want to get rid of it, now is a fantastic opportunity to do so. You can be radically honest with yourself and have the energy and assertiveness to quit whatever you need to quit. Aries is about war, and this war can rage within ourselves, but we can be victorious. And it's also a time of breaking barriers with escaping and asking yourself, what am I trying to run from? What am I trying to avoid and not to face? Aries energy faces things head on. So now is a great time to face anything that you've tried to escape from. What fears are holding you back from achieving your dreams? Fears are just illusions, and Aries is bold enough to face and slay the dragon of fear that keeps us small. We may even find during this transit that people are more open to spiritual retreats or seminars. Aries is a very adventurous, fun sign that likes to try new things, and with Neptune being spiritual in nature, it kind of goes hand in hand. Now, we know how independent Aries can be, So this is also a time where an individual may become assertive and more independent on their spiritual journey. Cutting any energy cord will be easier now. Dropping any person that no longer serves you on your journey, that could have been tough to do with that Pisces energy because it doesn't really like letting go of anything. But with this arrival of this Aries energy and the Aries impulsivity and assertiveness, it can be a little easier to cut ties with the people that are not helping us grow spiritually. You are no longer the victim anymore. Now, one thing I do want all my little buttercups to watch out for during this transit is black magic. So people may seek revenge on others if they feel they have been wronged or slighted. But this may be a very impulsive thing that someone does. Instead of reviewing all of the facts and actually knowing the truth, they may try to send this negative energy towards you if they become upset or angry or rageful, and they may do it so quickly that they don't even understand what they're doing. So make sure to put up all the energy protections you need to not partake in receiving any type of this energy. Return it to sender. And another thing you may notice if you have vivid dreams at night is these dreams may contain more fire or things blowing up or exploding. And you may have dreams where there is suppressed rage coming to the surface, or there is anger in the dreams when people show up, certain people show up. Don't be alarmed. You are just naturally intuitive and you're sensing these Aries energies in your dream. So I am so excited to see what this transit holds for our future. I mean, it's really a fantastic time for people to step into their power and purpose in life. So what things do you think will occur during this transit? I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. And if you like this video, I invite you to visit my Patreon. Right now, we are doing a series of Uranus throughout the houses, which has been fascinating to explore. And Uranus will be going into Gemini soon as well. So lots and lots of big changes occurring in our outer planets. Mwah.